I'm really hoping that we have, who is just going to magically appear on the screen. Good morning, Bettina. Lovely to see you.
Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Tim. Thank you so much for having me on.
I know you are super busy, so it's lovely of you to take time to come and hang out with us on VegFest, Bettina. What are you going to be doing next? Have you got a hectic day lined up?
Yes. No. I have an appointment that I have to get to at 12:15. That's the rush today.
Well, it's so lovely of you taking time out. You're such an inspiration. I've been loving what I've seen on your Instagram and your website. Veganism has had quite a big impact on your life for health reasons as well. But I thought it was quite interesting when I was reading about, a Norwegian father, mother, Bulgarian / Danish. You were born in Denmark. You've lived in East Africa, Tanzania. I mean, this is an incredible journey. Was you vegan at that time, or have you learned lots from these different countries to bring you to the point you are at now?
No, I was definitely not vegan or involved in veganism or the wellness industry then. I guess my heritage and my mixed heritage and the fact that I've grown up in different places, like you said, East Africa, Sweden, I've lived in various different countries. It sort of enabled me to use those experiences and translate them into flavors and into my food. So because I'm not a traditionally trained chef, I'm self-taught. And when I got into the wellness industry, I sort of taught myself how to cook plant-based or vegan. And I guess I don't follow the rules like other traditional chefs do. So I experiment with a mishmash of flavors and combinations that might sound or seem a little bit odd, but work from a flavor perspective. So I draw lots of inspiration from places that I travel to or places where I run health retreats, which is how I started in the first place. And also from my two grandmothers. So my Norwegian grandmother, who was very green-fingered and a fantastic cook, and my Bulgarian grandmother, who also equally was an amazing cook. So lots of inspiration to draw from.
Really interesting. I want to know about what was your turning point to go vegan, Bettina?
So for me, it was the other way around. I know for a lot of people in my position, they sort of go vegan and then that's the turning point. For me, it had to do with my career. So I started running wellness retreats over 8 years ago in southern Spain. And at the time, it was very popular to go on these boot camps and do juice detoxes. So we thought that rather than doing that, we wanted to offer people food and to not go hungry on retreats. And also living in southern Spain, we had access to amazing farmers markets, incredible produce, as you can imagine. So decided to do vegan and gluten-free cuisine. I decided that I wanted to cook on the first retreat that I ran. And having had this passion for food and cooking since I was a little girl, that sort of everything fell into place. And I thought, this is amazing. I can finally cook for a living. And I loved doing it and sort of having the farmer's market as my palette for ingredients and showcasing plant-based or vegan food and how many options you have to the clients that we would have that would come and stay for a week. So it was the other way around. And that sort of trickled into my life. I was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome and endometriosis. I think it's quite a long time ago now. I think I was 26 or 27 and was basically told that the likelihood of me having children was sadly probably not going to happen for me. And that was at the same time as I was cooking and running these retreats. And that type of food and lifestyle kind of trickled into my life. And I made lots of changes, not just through food, but lifestyle changes as well. And I got pregnant 7 months into my new business. I got pregnant with my little girl, who's now almost 9. Well, she'll be 9 in October. So and she's also been a huge part of that journey. And I guess, as you can imagine, 8 to 9 years ago, veganism and vegan food wasn't a big thing, and people sort of thought, "What on earth are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And 4 to 5 years into it, it boomed, as you know, and it's become huge now. So
that's wonderful. I want to ask you, just going back to the polycystic ovaries and the endometriosis, when you heard that, it must have been, quite a shock. Did you explore the vegan diet, if you like, the plant-based diet, hoping that might be able to help you? Or did you just fall into this diet because you were running the retreats and it helped you, but that wasn't your intention? If you see what I mean?
Yeah, it was definitely not my intention. I want to be really clear about this, because a lot of people in my position go, this is, this made me pregnant because I chose this type of diet. I'm not a nutritionist. There were lots of things that happened during that period, and my diet was one of those things. Yeah. So I didn't go and seek it out. It just sort of happened to fall into place, with lots of other lifestyle changes, and everything helped. I also took lots of supplements. I really dug into what could help, because at the time polycystic ovary syndrome and endometriosis wasn't really talked about. So it was a lot of trial and error. And to this day, in terms of my personal health, things happen and evolve, and there's lots of trial and error. So I think it's on a personal basis, at that time, everything slotted in and happened to help and make me feel better.
That's wonderful. And it's led for you to do even more with, is this what you focus on all of the time now? And especially during this past year, which has been very difficult. You couldn't have run a retreat, could you?
No. So that part of my business, in terms of retreat running, and I also run a retreat chef academy where I teach other people how to become retreat chefs, which is quite a specific role. Because you have to wear many hats in that situation. So the retreat business and the academy has had to sort of take a halt over the last year. I'm hoping to be able to run my May Academy, which would be amazing. But all the other things have been sort of slowly ticking away in the background. So I wrote my 3rd book, which the title launched yesterday, and it's called Celebrate, plant-based recipes for every occasion. So birthday parties, Easter, Christmas, New Year's, all of those big celebrations now hopefully have a great recipe attached to them. Whether you're vegan or not, hopefully it'll inspire more people to include veggies onto their plates and make them the hero ingredient. My 2nd cookbook that I wrote last year, and also is one that does really well during Veganuary, is called the 7-Day Vegan Challenge. And that's got lots of sort of easy recipes that again focus on humble vegetables, without sort of having to reach for products that you might find in the supermarkets, but vegetables that you find in your veg boxes. So bringing back the humble Swede, potatoes, carrots, onions, cabbage, and using wholesome ingredients like great flours and grains and pulses, and sort of bringing those back.
I think that's so important, Bettina. You know, I've got to read your book because my greens are like blended up into my big smoothie.
Amazing.
So it's good. I've done that forever, but you know, it's bringing back the flavors and using vegetables in different ways. And I mean, I want to ask you, Bettina, and I know we're sort of running out of time, but you know, I'm really happy that there's so many vegan products in the supermarkets, in the shops now. You can order. I'm happy about that. You know, when I went vegan nearly 25 years ago, you know, there wasn't the range. I didn't care less, to be honest. For me, fast food is go and grab a banana. But, you know, that's... But do you think that we need to kind of bring back a bit more of the cooking element? Are people, vegans, whoever, relying on the fast food, on the, you know, you get it off the shelf now, you put it in the microwave. I don't even have a microwave. Do you think that that's not the way forward? Should we be bringing back the humble vegetables and exploring the fresh tastes and flavours and creations and making things ourselves?
100%. I am a huge advocate for cooking from scratch. I think that is the single biggest thing that you can do for yourself, for your family. You know exactly what goes into your pot. And there's so many things that you can do with veggies. So 100%. And also from an environmental perspective, I think more important than the vegan label is where your food comes from and that you support local and seasonal produce. And lots of people ask, how can I do that? Or where do I start? Or it's too expensive. My advice is get a veg box, a weekly veg box. It's going to cost 25 to 30 quid. That is what you spend on a night out or if you go down the pub. But for that, you can get a whole box of veggies that are locally sourced and grown. And you can do a lot for that too, and feed your family in a really, really nice way. And also get yourself out of your comfort zone and cook with these amazing vegetables that you get. And we're heading into spring season now. I'm so excited. I love spring. I love summer vegetables. And there's so many things coming up that you can cook with.
Tell us a couple of examples, and then I think we're going to have to let you go, which I don't want to, Bettina.
I know, I'm so sorry. Lots of different things. I love spring greens. So anything, you've got purple sprouting broccoli coming up now. We'll have lots of green peas coming up at the moment. There's going to be courgettes and cucumbers, and we've just we're at the end of citrus season. So we've had blood oranges. At the moment, if you're out and about this weekend, go and forage some wild garlic, which is amazing as a pesto. So yeah, lots. Chicory is another one. Fantastic produce. There's so many options, guys.
I just want to know, final quickie, I'm coming round to yours for dinner. What are you going to make me, Bettina? Tim and I are both coming round for dinner tomorrow night.
So I was on James Martin this morning, and I made a truffled cashew cheese, and I stuffed them in some courgette flowers that I then fried off crispy. So you bite into that, which is nice and crispy on the outside, and then you've got truffled cashew cheese coming through. I would definitely treat you to that because it's special. It's one of my favorite things. It sounds complicated, but it's not.
Bettina, I'll see you tomorrow, my love. That sounds really good. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's a whirlwind, but I hope we might be able to entice you back on.
Absolutely. And, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Bettina. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you for all your great work. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. Lots of love. Bye, bye, bye.
Thank you.
Oh, I feel like we were just getting into, you know, I wanted to find out more as we got in, but, you know, time is flying by.